Welcome to the Blue Valley North Library website. Today we're going to be talking about how to use TinkerCAD for 3D design. This video is specifically for Miss Pence Sociology classes, so this will be a little bit specific and hopefully it will help you with everything that you need for your 3D design. You're going to start by opening the internet and going to TinkerCAD. TinkerCAD.com. And one thing that's great about TinkerCAD is that you can create an account and log in so that you can access any of your design files at any time. So up in the right corner, you're going to sign up for a free account. You'll put in your name and your email address. In general, it's good practice to not use your complete last name, but since it's part of your school email address anyway, it doesn't really matter. You'll decide on your password, and then you'll verify how old you are. And since I already have an account, I'm going to sign in. And you'll see I have a bunch of designs already in my list. What you are going to be doing is you are going to create a new design. One thing that's funny about TinkerCAD is that they create the names of your files, and it's kind of difficult to change them. So I have all these really weird names for my files. You won't have anything in this list because you haven't actually created anything. So you will click on Create New Design, and the TinkerCAD editor will come up. Now for this project, everyone is going to use a very specific paperclip design. I have that design saved in my resources folder. So once the editor opens, we will go ahead and get that file out of my resources folder, and you'll be able to start designing. So my new file is called Fabulous Snagit Bruticus, which is hilarious. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click over here on the right under Import. So the first thing I'm going to do is go choose a file, and like I said, you're going to browse to the resources folder. You're going to look for my folder, which is under Teachers, Cornelius_Abby, and you'll see a paperclip small is in there. So we're going to open that. And we're going to click over here on the right. Now that the file is listed here next to Choose File, we're going to click Import. So it will upload the file, and then it will eventually show up on my work plane. I've got a little alert down here. Say yes to that, and my picture appears. So this is a 3D file of a little clip that we're going to use since you are designing a lapel pin for your team. In order to navigate around in 3D, you'll see that the work plane right here is set flat and my paperclip is set on top of it. In order to design on the clip, we'll have to move the work plane. If you need to navigate around in 3D, all you have to do is right-click and drag, and that lets you turn your model in any way. Okay? If you ever get to a place where you just don't like how it looks, you can go back to the home and it'll put you back in its original station. So what I'm going to do now, and this is the very first thing that you guys are going to do, is you're going to click on the work plane and you are going to drag it. See how it's sitting right now on the normal work plane? I'm going to drag it so that it's on the edge of the clip so that I can actually put my design on the clip. So now the work plane is this orange work plane, and I can put things on here so that they'll actually be attached to the clip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find, let's say, a rectangle, and I'm going to drag it so that it's attached to my clip. And I'll just drop it right there. Now I want it to be more of a flat rectangle so I can design. So I'm going to use that square, and I'm going to make it about 2 millimeters thick. I'm going to make it a little bit longer and a little bit skinnier. So this is what I'll put my design on. And if we rotate, you can see that rectangle is totally attached to that clip. So that's exactly what I needed. Now if I want to add things to the rectangle, or if I want to rotate it, whatever I want to put in here, I'm going to have to move my work plane again. So I'm going to go grab my work plane from over here on the right, and I'm going to drag it now so that it's sitting on top of the rectangle. So now everything that I put on here will be attached to the rectangle. TinkerCAD does have all of these basic shapes over here on the right, so you can use any combination of those shapes to make your design. There's also letters, which of course you can use, numbers, and then some fun symbols. There's also a few little extras that are just silly things added in. If you don't like any of the things that you see over here on the right, you can click on Shape Generators. TinkerCAD has their own that you can choose from, or you can go to the community. The community has some more detailed things that you could use. So there's 10 pages here of things that you can use. There's not a ton of really great things, but there's more than are currently listed. So if I wanted to add something to my rectangle right here, maybe I want to add a gear. All I'm going to do is click and drag it. If it's too big, I can scale it down a little bit. I can click and drag it up a little higher, and maybe the gear, and then something smaller like, I don't like any of that stuff. Maybe a different gear, and these things will represent something about my team. So if I add this here, and then maybe if I add something easy, let's just keep looking. Maybe if I add, actually let's just go find a letter. How about that? Maybe my team name starts with one of these letters, let's say a G. Then I can just drag it right onto here. So if I think that this is a good design for my team, I can rotate around, make sure that everything looks like it's connected and that I like the layers. And when I'm done, you can notice all of these changes are saved. So all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go back to home, and then to get my work plane flat again so it doesn't look so funny the way that it is, I'm going to go find the work plane, and I'm just going to drag it here into the blue space. And this is my final design. Now the colors that are listed here do not matter at all, because we will be printing one of the chosen designs all in one color. So it doesn't matter what colors these are, because we can only print in one color anyway, and your team will decide what color that's going to be. So as soon as I'm sure that I'm finished, I can go up to design over here. I can make sure that it's saved, and that's all you need to do for this current design, is make sure it's saved. On Friday, you will be making the proposal to your team. You will be graded on your proposal, and then the team will decide on the design that they like the best, and that is the design that will be printed for each team member. So everyone will have the same design as their team logo. If you have any questions, feel free to talk to us in the library. Ms. Sneathen or myself, Ms. Cornelius, can help you with this 3D design. We will also be the ones who will be evaluating you during your proposal. So feel free to ask questions. Remember that you do get perseverance points for this project. So even though it's a tricky thing that we're asking you to do, work hard, try really hard, and see if you can figure it out on your own, but ask for help if you need to. Thanks for watching, and contact us with any questions.